Now to Charlie's new interview with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad for Sunday's 60 Minutes. Assad granted rare access a year and a half after their last conversation as Syria enters the 5th year of its civil war. Their meeting Thursday in Damascus came amid reports of a new chlorine gas attack in a town where 6 people may have been killed from the poison earlier this month. But Assad pushed back against claims that his regime is using chlorine gas. The interview was shot by Syrian TV at the request of Assad's people, citing security reasons. However, nothing was off limits in this interview when it came to Charlie's questions.
90% of the civilian casualties, 90% come from the Syrian army.
How did you get that result?
That was a report that was issued in the last 6 months.
Okay, as I said earlier, the war is not traditional war. It's not about capturing land and gaining land. It's about winning the hearts and minds of the Syrians. We cannot win the heart of minds of the Syrians while we are killing Syrians. We cannot sustain 4 years in that position as a government and me as president, while the rest of the world, most of the world, the great powers and regional power are against me and my people against me. That's impossible. I mean, this logic has no leg to stand on. So this is not realistic, and this is against our interest as government is to kill the people. What do we get? What's the benefit of killing the people?
Well, I mean, the argument is that there are weapons of war that have been used that most people look down on with great. One is chlorine gas. They believe it has been used here. They said there is evidence of that, and they would like to have the right to inspect to see where it's coming from. Mm-hmm. As you know, barrel bombs have been used, mm-hmm. and they come from helicopters. And the only people who have helicopters is the Syrian army. And so those two acts of war, which the society looks down on as
let me fully answer this.
Barbaric acts.
It's very important. This is part of the malicious propaganda against Syria. First of all, the chlorine gas is not military gas. You can buy it anywhere. And
but it can be weaponized.
No, because it's not very effective. It's not used as military gas. That's very self-evident. Traditional armament is more important than chlorine. And if it was very effective, the terrorists would have used this on a larger scale. Because it's not effective, it's not used very much.
Then why not let somebody come in and inspect it, see whether it's been used or not?
You'd
be happy for that?
Of course. We always ask a delegation, impartial delegation, to come and investigate. But I mean, logically and realistically, it cannot be used as a military. This is part of the propaganda because, as you know, in the media, when it bleeds, it leads. And they always look for something that bleeds, which is the chlorine gas and the barrel bomb.
Assad also told Charlie he is, quote, open to a dialogue with the U.S., but isn't hearing anything from Washington. Secretary of State John Kerry raised the possibility of talks this month during his interview with Margaret Brennan on CBS's Face the Nation. So watch 60 Minutes this Sunday for much more of Charlie's news-making interview with President Assad.